that's not a good sign. You guys take a look at this here. So that is either a bowl gasket issue, a float issue, or a needle and seat issue. So let me show you what I'm doing here to try and diagnose what's going on with this leaking carburetor. So first thing I'm going to do is test the needle and seat. Now I have a sort of a pressure vacuum instrument here. I got a complete video on this one. If you want to see that, go ahead and click the link on the top right corner. But what I'm doing is I'm going to pressurize to about 7 psi, and I'm just watching the gauge to make sure it doesn't drop off. Right now the float is in the up position, so it should be shutting off any fuel coming into the carburetor at this point. So right now the gauge is holding steady, so I don't think it's the needle and seat. Now, if I can get away with it, I'm not going to change the needle and seat. Now, here is the bowl gasket that was on it that I didn't change. And there is a bit of deformation. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a bit of deformation right in this area of the bowl gasket, and there's some cracks here that I didn't notice. Alright, so I got a new gasket on there. I always kind of just put a little bit of oil on the gasket as well before I put it back on. Float bowl back on, you know. Yep. Alright. Okay, so what I've decided to do before I put it all back together is I've just set up the fuel tank, or I've hooked up the fuel tank to the carburetor. We're going to see if this leaks out of the bowl like it was before. So I'm going to let it sit here for about 5 minutes, and if it's all good after 5 minutes, then I'll put it back on. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I haven't seen any drips around the float bowl, so I think that was our issue. So I'm going to give it a couple of pulls, and we're going to see if we can get this thing fired up. Spark plug. Alright, see what happens. So yeah, that's going to probably conclude this video, guys. Thanks for joining me today in the garage. Looks like we might have saved another one. If you learned something, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. Really helps me out, and definitely appreciate all the support. And until next time, guys, take care.